So thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalie, the Director of Operations here at May Chiropractic. For those of us who have been with us for a long time, you know me and my children, but maybe for those of you who have joined our patient base the last few years, you might not know me, but I am Dr. May's wife, and I make sure that everything operates as it should be and that you enjoy your experience here at May Chiropractic. Today, we have Dr. Corey Pullman joining us to discuss red light, and we are so excited that he is here. Now, Dr. Corey is the founder of Core Wellness and the creator of the Core Method, a comprehensive wellness approach that has helped transform thousands of lives across the country. He is the inventor on multiple wellness-based patents and the manufacturer of innovative wellness technologies currently being used in more than 200 clinics throughout the United States. As the founder and franchisor of a successful wellness model, Dr. Corey has spent 20 years of his chiropractic career helping healthcare providers build thriving practices while delivering life-changing results for their patients. His passion is bridging cutting-edge technology with practical systems that improve both patient outcomes and clinic success. Beyond his professional accomplishments, Dr. Corey is a devoted husband and proud father of 4. His faith and family continue to be the foundation beyond everything else. Today, he'll be sharing how his Core Light red light station fits into modern wellness practice, the philosophy behind its development, and how providers are using it to create exceptional patient experiences. Dr. Corey Pullman, welcome. We're so glad to have you with us today.
Thank you. That was an amazing opening. I really appreciate that. Thank you for having me.
You've done a lot.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, Dr. Corey, let me just start by saying that, in my opinion, red light therapy is one of the most exciting things that have happened to healthcare in a long time. I love that it just really helps the body heal as it naturally is intended to, and it helps with so many conditions. But for the sake of time, can you maybe brief us a little on why people should use red light?
You're right. I mean, red light is one of the largest trends happening in healthcare right now. It's one of the most peer-reviewed, and you can always tell which is what are the trends that are taking off because you look at the research, right? This modality has by far the most peer-reviewed research in the industry on it right now, and that's what gets me excited. And a lot of people don't realize is the importance of light and how it affects the human and how it affects our cells. And people get kind of that relationship of light and plants, right? We're all taught photosynthesis and it makes energy and that's how plants survive. Very few people understand that we actually have very similar processes in biochemistry in our bodies. And they're little organelles called chromophores that respond with light and allow, at the cellular level, processes to happen, allow us to have that underlying foundation of cellular health. And it's really that focus right now in healthcare is how do we get the foundation of health so that we're not always yo-yoing or issue happens, we have terrible sickness. Like, how do we build foundational health? And light therapy is definitely a foundational product for that.
Yes, thank you. Yes, I've in all my research and that I'm learning, it really helps on a cellular level. That's why it's not just one thing. It helps skin cells, liver cells, hair cells. It's so comprehensive. Now, is red light something new?
No, light's been around for years, right? Like I said, we're light beings. It's been around forever. And it really kind of came into play when NASA started getting technology and utilizing it for our astronauts back in the 80s, 90s. And that kind of opened people's eyes, at least on the research side. The general population didn't really hear about it much, didn't know about it, but on the backside, people that love peer-reviewed articles like myself are starting to be like, there's something to this. And to be honest, that's one of the reasons I jumped heavily onto this 15 years ago, because I was in the chiropractor by trade, got into that workout gym side of things because I wanted to help people lose weight and feel better. What I learned is I'm always trying to figure out problems, right? I think that's where I've gotten to, where I've been is I look at things, I'm like, okay, that doesn't make sense. What's our solution? In the gym side, I'd watch these people go to the gym every single day, do the hard work, put the effort in. Some would lose weight and be lean and feel great, where a lot of the others wouldn't. And that didn't make sense to me, right? Because we were taught, hey, if you put the effort in, you should get the reward. That led me on that journey of diving deeper into really understanding the biochemistry of weight management and hormones and those things. And what we learned throughout our studies, and we were doing metabolic testing, blood draws. We were doing a lot to try to figure this out. And we learned, weight management is really foundational, meaning hormonal, inflammation, deeper global problems that we had to solve. And
absolutely
understanding immersion of light therapy and, okay, we're getting really good results on that in labs. And we're starting to see that. I jumped jumped heavily onto that. And that's kind of where, fast forward today, we've helped a lot of people with that foundational.
And speaking of helping people, what kind of conditions do you typically see that people come in for red light, or in your experience, does it help treat?
Yeah, so let's talk global first, because like hormones, inflammation is the big thing that light therapy directly helps provide a solution for at the cellular level. So then you tie inflammation to pretty much every chronic disease, immune-based diseases that we're seeing, the larger ones. And then on the weight management side, inflammation is a driver there at the cellular level. Chronic pain, acute pain, skin repair, skin support. I mean, you name it. A lot of that, if we can clear up the foundation, these natural processes in the body start working.
Absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree. That's what we find in our practice. That's what our Dr. May also says. Inflammation is responsible for a lot of things. So if we can get to the root cause of it and reducing that inflammation, there's a whole slew of things that we can be helping with.
And I think that's why chiropractic minds really understand this, because we were taught to root cause. What caused the problem? And if we can get to the cause, all of a sudden, all the results start cascading up, right?
Absolutely.
And you even see that in the weight management side of things, the GLP-1s and these things up top, right? Everybody's focusing on the top of the pyramid. And that's why they yo-yo so much, because that foundation isn't there. If we can provide the foundation with things, then everything at top works better.
Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate that. Some people see the bright lights that come off the red light panels and they get concerned how it affects their eyes. So let's talk for a moment on the safety of eyewear and how red light helps, or what does it do with the eyes. I will say what's interesting in my research and in my experience and talking with countless others is, they say that it's really helped and improved their red light. And in my research, I have seen where there might be specific instances where they use red light therapy, such as in Europe and South America. It's become the standard for them to treat macular degeneration with red light, but it does use specific wavelengths and time. So what is your suggestion and about protective eyewear with red light and things?
Okay. Yep. And you had a golden nugget there. I'm going to answer that, and then I'll answer your question. Okay. So you look at the sun, right? People understand that. And the sun has so many different wavelengths, right? It's a very complete wavelengths. And what science did, and this is what gets me excited, is we can taking certain wavelengths to the nanometer, 630, 660, like looking at these specific wavelengths, putting them in a lab, understanding outcome, documenting that, and then having peer-reviewed papers. So that's the neat part, is we're taking single wavelengths, testing them, and how do they work, and how does this wavelength work? What does this one do? How does this affect the body? And that's the important part of this. So like eyes, for instance, we're learning even that light, 630, 660, that's kind of where red light lives, is in that 600 series. Really good results with helping to support pressure in eyes, visual acuity, all of those things. And the nice thing with our devices is we understand that, so we can wavelength on, we can shut the other ones off, we can turn two on, like we can totally customize to make sure we're getting good outcomes. But we know, to your point, that red, peer-reviewed, really beneficial to supporting what's happening in the eye. Now, would you need goggles? With just red, not necessarily. You don't want to just stare at it, because it'll be annoying, right? When you close your eyeballs, you're going to see the spots, right? Just like you would if you looked at the sun. But on the safety side, just closing the eyeballs or eyelids and just having reds is good. Now, as we get further in some of the infrared that are important for different things, right? So we move up that spectrum, and that's 9s and the 1060s. We don't necessarily want long-term of those wavelengths on the eye yet, okay? So with those, yes, protective eyeglasses, but there's no UV. Usually it's a UV that's really affecting the eyeballs.
Yeah. So like you said, I think it really comes down to wavelengths, and because ours that we got with you, it has such a mirage in so many things, because we're helping the body on so many different levels, that we do wear protective eyewear with ours. But if it was specifically only one, and we can cater it to be only one, and if that's the treatment for that patient, then it does help with the eyes. And I have noticed that when I get off treatment, because I've had a few sessions myself now, love it. My vision is brighter, it's more clear, and I know that the research shows that it helps us to be able to see colors more vibrantly.
Well, and here's I'm 47, right? So kind of started getting down that path of you having to use readers, right? As I got a little bit older, I've got a solution here. Let's start being, let's use it for that and be focused on that. And guess what? Not using readers. So it's things like that get you excited when you see.
That's always exciting. Yeah. No one likes aging.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. We try not to, especially with 4 kids that are under the age of 14, right? So I've got to say stay young.
Yes, you do. Absolutely. You got to keep mobile with them. Absolutely.
Yep.
So I was exposed to red light by attending chiropractic conferences. And I saw it and it intrigued me. And the more conferences I attended, it was popping up more and more. And so I had the ability to speak with multiple chiropractors across the United States that were using red light in their practices. I loved being able to pick their brains, but one thing I noticed most is that they said their patients love the weight loss effect most out of any other effect from red light. And they said, and it astounded me, and I know my patients are going to be excited for this, that their patients lost between 2 and 5 inches with just one session. So can you tell us, how does red light help with weight loss?
We're always going to talk foundationally first, right? Because if you don't win foundation on a weight loss journey, you will always be on the yo-yo journey, right? That's where so many people go wrong. They chase the top and it's always lose weight, gain it all back, lose weight, gain it all back. Why? They never got the foundational hormone cell health, ATP, which is made in the cell, which is boosted with the reaction of light, the energy. The body needs that to start repairing when they're sleeping. Like all these things come together. I could 2-hour talk just on that, right? Just on the science, because my background is biochemistry, right? So just on the science of how all that works. On the side of things of weight loss, here's the I use, okay? So remember, different wavelengths do different things. We know via the studies, those reds are to go and just poke little holes in the outside shell of a fat cell, right?
Absolutely.
So poking holes. We know that. The other wavelengths we have in your station are more of those 8s, the mid-range. Their job, they're actually going in, providing enough energy to break apart the triglyceride molecule. So it's breaking it apart to basically glycerol, fatty acids, and water. It liquefies it. So now you've got, instead of a gelatinous material, when you pinch your fat, you kind of feel, it's liquid. That then seeps out of the shell, and then now you're left with the skin of the grape. So less area, right? Then where's it go? Okay, it goes in the interstitial fluid where your lymphatic system picks it up. That's why we put more of the 1060. It helps move circulation, blood flow. That's why the table has vibration. Why? Because that moves lymph. That's why we added PEMF. Why? Because there's a whole nother aspect to that and a whole nother modality I can speak to on an hour. It goes in the interstitial to the liver, body packages it up, you excrete it, okay? Via sweat, via feces, breathing. I mean, that's how it excretes. So that's why
we talk a lot with our patients that we get rid of it in 3 ways: urine, waste, and sweat.
So drink a ton of water, move after your light session, right? Start bringing in good nutrition because that will catapult result. You put these pieces of the puzzle together, that underlying like light therapy plus nutrition plus movement plus water, better sleep. Oh my gosh, weight loss just is massive at that point.
Absolutely. We have seen great results with our patients that have started with us in just a few weeks. Right now we have 4 patients who after 2 weeks they've lost 8 pounds. And so it's been really great to see. And those are women who struggle and they think about going to the gym, and I eat a salad all the time. And I haven't been able to lose weight.
I've helped a lot of those and it's a hormonal change, right? Like you guys go through a little bit different hormonal change at certain ages than maybe a male does. Those hormonal changes are really affected by underlying like cortisol, inflammation, those types of things. So if we can regulate that, guess what? Hormones do a better job naturally to be able to stabilize.
Absolutely. And I'm excited to use it personally myself after having 6 kiddos. My hormones are
you got me
crazy.
beat. I forgot about that. Yeah.
Definitely not a competition.
There's not very many people, when I say I have 4, that can think that, but you've massively done that.
They're also, and one is just crazy enough. So Now, one question I have for you, Dr. Corey, is about there's several red light devices out there, and a few of our practice-based members already have a red light home unit. Why should they consider coming in and using our core light station unit?
Yeah, and that's a great question. And there's a reason why the ones are 50 times more expensive, or maybe 100 more times expensive than at home. Okay, so when it comes down to light, it's really this, right? What are the wavelengths? Okay, so number one, what are the wavelengths? Now, what'll happen though, even that we can go deeper, Natalie, is they say the wavelength is, let's say 630, but is it actually 630. Okay, so like when we're building ours, like even the lens we use, we're using the top lens out there. Why? Because if that lens has any opaqueness to it or any irregularities, that will change a 630 to maybe a 510 or maybe a 637, right? The clarity of that lens is so important. And the clearer the glass on the outside, the more expensive it is. So you really can be more certain, am I getting the right wavelengths, right? And then to your point, I mean, you've got 7. Very few devices have that. Okay, so that's step 1 is, are we actually getting the wavelengths and what wavelengths? Okay, because you need them all because the depths of penetration are different. Certain ones go a little bit deeper, which we need if we're treating the body as a whole. Certain ones go more superficial. Certain ones trigger different organelles. I mean, it's really complex, but I don't want to get to that complexity for you guys. I'm trying to simplify. Do we have the right wavelengths? Second, do we have enough power? We know when we read the research, certain wavelengths over time lead to what we call joules, which is the amount of light the cells get. That's what the research is all about. If we deliver X amount of joules over X amount of time with X wavelength, we get X outcome, okay? Which will give you skin, recovery, post-surgical. I mean, all those studies, there's thousands of them. Absolutely. So are we getting enough power? Yours? Absolutely, right? Like that's what
that shows it.
Yeah, that's why we have so many fans. That's why we have certain CPU computers in there to help drive that, to get a measurable high irradiance. The stuff on and I've done this, the stuff on online, some of those less expensive. I mean, they're maybe kicking out 5 milliwatts per centimeter squared. I mean, that would take you hours upon hours upon hours to sit there with that device to get the same outcome. Okay.
Absolutely.
The other thing too, and we talk about frequencies, right? That's a big one. Your cells, we know the cells vibrate at certain frequencies, right? Healthier cells are a measured frequency now and a little bit faster than an unhealthy cell. So in your device, we put in frequencies. Why? So we can actually start helping even that aspect of a cell. Those at-home devices, no, they won't have enough energy to help. So on a clinical grade device, it's really there to give you the boost, right? I mean, it's there like, hey, let's get you outcomes. Let's give you a boost. Let's get you change. And then once you have change, then maybe some of the at-home stuff can help support and maintain.
And that's what I love to tell them because, our unit, like you said, is so much stronger and has multiple wavelengths. So we're able to really help cells at a cellular level and we're able to save them time. Everybody's busy.
Time.
Yeah, everyone's doing things. And I love how you said, that would take you hours with the home unit. And I had a patient recently come in and she told me that she's had a home unit for 6 months and she's had no results with it. And she was like, why? Because she 2 inches on our unit. And she said, why does this work? And I went kind of through the same thing you just said.
Yeah, and keep in mind, remember, we're treating globally. We're treating foundation. So a lot of the at-homes are spot treat, but we're trying to get to trillions of cells. So we need full coverage with plenty of energy in the right wavelengths to get that whole body foundationally solid so that the processes can start turning on.
Thank you. Absolutely. And I love that it's whole body because I know that red light also helps with hair growth. So if the cell is a hair cell, it is going to help, promote hair growth. And after having 6 kids, I can struggle with thin hair. So I'm excited for that. Now, another thing that we've noticed in our practice and really throughout the entire country is infertility. People are struggling, to grow their families and to their babies. So how does red light affect fertility?
Great question. And this is where the functional med biochemistry part of me comes in, right? Let's look at fertility. A lot of causes for it, right? There's just like hair. I mean, I always say there's usually 3 main things for hair. If we can solve the underlying conditions, naturally hair will have those things against it and it will produce nice, full, thicker hair. Same thing with fertility, right? So, stress hormones, stress direct effect of fertility and inflammation and that chemistry effect or antithesis or opposite of the hormones needed for fertility. So a lot of those underlying conditions are affecting the body's ability to say, hey, I'm vibrant, thriving. My body wants to be able to now put extra energy to growing another little kiddo. If I have all these other underlying problems, inflammation, hormones, cortisol, all those things, my body says, hey, I'm in a stress response. I need my energy I don't dare put extra energy out to try to now grow another little kiddo. So red light and light therapy, photobiomodulation is kind of the medical term, right? Is there with the underlying things so that all of a sudden the body says, oh, I have more energy. I have more ATP. I'm feeling better. I'm good.
And obviously multiple things that can affect fertility, and we're not fertility doctors, but
exactly. And that's how we say with red light, that's why I love it. It's wellness, right? It's this wellness tool at the foundational level, helping with those global things that trickle up to conditions.
Absolutely. Yep. And if you don't have a great foundation, then you're not able to achieve those outcomes. So speaking of that, do you have any studies of red light or conditions where you've seen specifically that it has been able to help?
I mean, there's peer-reviewed articles out right now, right? And that's what I get excited about. So yeah, I mean, you can literally go to PubMed, and if there's a condition, there's usually a study tied to it that will show, here's the wavelengths we use, here's the dosing, here's what we found, here's the outcomes. And that's going to range from, you name it. Like, I love athletes, right? I've got 4 little athletes. So athletic performance, I love that. Recovery, love that. And there's studies, hamstrings. Okay, if we had hamstrings, we know that people are recovering 4 times faster using light therapy, right? It's things like that. But it's even going up even now into gut biome. Like, we're starting to see studies that, oh my gosh, changing gut biome, not directly by going in there and doing, but by changing other hormones that are affected the gut biome, we have an outcome of gut biome. Brain, big one right now, right? That CTE we're dealing with, the chronic brain issues, those types of things. We're seeing some memory increase, decreased brain fog, all of those things. So there's just many. Skin on the aesthetic side, yes. I mean, we're looking at density of collagen after using light therapy. It's denser, it's thicker, which is more youthful, tighter skin, right? So it's like, there's just so many. And that's why I'm a believer, we need a team to get everybody under light therapy, right? It's just such a really good modality, and there's no reason people shouldn't be underneath it with it being available to them, especially in like your community.
Absolutely, because it is all encompassing and it's non-invasive, and it helps as intended. Every therapy treatment helps your body. Now, there may be some skeptics out there about red light. What would you say to those who are skeptical, or maybe who are concerned about the safety of red light?
I think the skepticism comes is it's new, right? Anything new that's like, oh my gosh, he just said it helps with all this stuff. That's too good to be true, right? And if you're saying red light helps with this condition and this condition, that's where that skeptic really kind of starts coming about, right? But if we can get them to understand the basics of how the body works and how light affects the basics at the cellular level, and then they start getting their own results. Oh my gosh, I'm sleeping better. Okay, I do have more energy. Oh my gosh, I am getting leaner and I'm not trying as hard. Oh, my workouts, I'm not as sore. Like, all those things are starting to now validate in their own minds of what the papers are telling us.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and I was nervous at first. I don't drink caffeine or anything like that because I'm super sensitive to it, and I'm up till 3 a.m. But I was a little nervous because I knew that red light helps with giving the mitochondria in the cell more energy, and because the mitochondria produces more ATP, which is cellular energy, I was like, oh man, if I do a session, am I going to be up all night? But it has, every day that I do a red light session, it is the best sleep that night. I love it.
It's an experience you can't explain to people, right? But you're right. I don't do caffeine either because it's a stimulant and it affects me. That ATP though, when you actually have cells making natural energy that your body is that's a function, and all of a sudden they're turned on, you're like, oh my gosh, I just went a whole day and I felt really good, right?
But it affected my sleep because I was worried that,
right.
It would be
well, and on the sleep, you get to sleep, right? By stimulating the pineal gland, going through the processes, helping the body produce more melatonin, like all of those things to give you restful sleep.
It's phenomenal technology. Like I said, I think it's one of the best things that's happened to healthcare in a long time. You mentioned you have little athletes, 4 of them, and you mentioned recovery there. Can you maybe list some athletes or teams that use red light, or specifically your unit?
Oh boy, every NFL, every professional team has a red light. I'll tell you that right now. So every high level where they're millions of dollars on the line right, for their body, they heavily invest in it, right? Because they have to, because that's their return on investment. Colleges, a lot of colleges, I'm going to say almost 50% of the colleges now have light therapy.
That's a lot. That's more than I expected. That's a lot.
Yes. Where you have an athlete, and that's why we have it at our house. I mean, back in the day, let's say you have an athlete with sprains. What do? Tell them to ice it?
Ice and rest.
Maybe ice, heat, that's even kind of like, which one did you choose, right? Rest, and then maybe an oral medication. That's all you had. That's the tools. Now you've got a tool to say, hey, go lay on that. Let's start at the cellular level, getting the inflammation out. Let's start getting the blood flow. Blood flow does what? Brings oxygen. Oxygen helps repair. ATP is needed in the body to heal. Without ATP, you can't. So now you're starting to have more options to be like, go on that, and their recovery time is decreased. And then the stuff you're doing on top of that, top of the pyramid, is more effective.
Thank you, Dr. Corey, for joining us today to discuss red light with me and our entire patient base. You're such a knowledgeable individual. I've personally enjoyed it. In case you guys have not scheduled your appointment yet, I just want to be clear on what we are offering, just in case you haven't scheduled. So on September 1st, we are offering our core light station, our red light unit, to the public. But for the month of August, we are offering it to our existing patient base. So whether you are currently coming in as a patient or you once came in as a patient, you can take advantage of this opportunity. And you can also invite your family or friends as well. This is something we're only offering to you. So during the month of August, normally there's a cost associated with this appointment, but you get it for free. So there's no cost. It's our gift to you. And how do you claim it? You're going to reply to this text message or email with your name or your loved one's family name. And I want you to know what's going to happen at this appointment. You're going to come in and you're going to get to choose your intended use for red light. We're going to walk you through how to use it. We're going to tell you what the proper dosage is and what the right frequency is. And that's all done for you. It's an amazing deal. It's only for the month of August. So it's a no-brainer for me. Make sure you go ahead and reply with your name or your family member's name and take advantage of it.
Love that. That is a very, very gracious, good job there. Yeah. And I appreciate your help. I mean, I think, like I said, as a team, we have to get America healthy, right? Like so many people are struggling from this feeling in their body and all of that. And it takes education. That's the big thing, is that education process, so that your clientele, your patients, can start understanding how it works. And then as they're getting their results, from sleep to feeling better to, skin tightening to those types of things, they share it. And if we can work as a community like that, share it to their friends and family, we will be able to help start making a solid foundation for us.
Well, and that's why we're in business. We're to help our patients. So thank you so much, Dr. Corey, for giving us your time today, and enjoy your family.
Thank you. Appreciate that.